Good afternoon and welcome to Wingate Park. We've got a thrilling game ahead of us. We have got Lezandri Hindebrand from Northwest versus Esme Hayle from JBA. They are just starting the trial ends. We'll slowly give you an update, as this is the first ladies game of the day that's been live streamed, so we'll slowly give you an update of the results so far. Lezandri has just come off a thrilling encounter versus Maggie van Zyl. Maggie van Zyl managed to win it 21-19. Lezandri showed a lot of character. She was quite well down in the game and really fought hard to come back. Maggie van Zyl had to pull out everything she's learned, all her experience, and bowled a fantastic last two ends to make sure she won the game. Esme herself played against Fran Belleri. That was quite a critical game. Both players were Esme was sitting on two losses, and Fran was sitting on one loss. So Esme won that game, and therefore it is keeping this section wide open. Spread the link. Send it on your bowls groups. Send it on all your groups. Spread the word of bowls wide. If you have any questions about what's happening in the game or the conditions, please put that in our live chat. I will do my best to keep updated. And if there are any questions that I do not know the answers to, I will make sure that I go and find them out.
Who are you talking to? Thank you.
So to give you a brief introduction to the two players that you will be watching bowl, I think there's very little introduction that needs to be given to the great Esme Hayle. She is a stalwart of South African bowls and has been performing at the highest level within South Africa for many years. I had a chat with Esme before the game just to get all my facts correct. And Esme, this is her 22nd consecutive Open Masters. I'm not sure if anyone quite can believe or understand or the amount of practice and effort that needs to go into someone's bowls to produce that quality of bowls every single year to make sure that you are selected. And then when you get to the BSA Masters that you actually perform at that level. Esme is the defending champion. She won gold last year. She also won the JBA singles and the Gauteng Opens pairs gold. She won the JBA Masters last year, as well as the Gauteng Open fours. She got silver. And because of Esme's win last year at the South African Masters, she went to the World Indoor Pairs and Singles in Guernsey. And I believe her and Jason Evans partnered up to play in the pairs. John, thank you very much for pointing out the very obvious. My name is Claire Cowan, and I will be commentating on this game and the next game. Esme Hayle got her Protea colours in 2005, and she had already been at the Open Masters for a few years before she got the Protea colours. And then on to our young gun on this rink, Lezandri Hindebrand, bowling out of Northwest District. Her club is Potchefstroom Country Club. Lezandri had a very successful 2024 where she won the BSA Juniors as well as the Northwest Open Ladies Masters. And prior to that, in 2023, also an exceptional year for her, where she got silver in the Northwest Open Ladies Masters. She got gold in the Northwest Junior Ladies Singles, and gold in the Northwest Junior Ladies Masters. So Lezandri has had a very, very successful 2 years. And most recently, she represented South Africa in the World Indoor Bowls Tournament in Hong Kong, where they were very, very successful. They were there under the guidance of Johan du Plessis. They had a very, very successful tournament there. Throughout this game, I'll try and update you on the scores. We are on rink, or green C, I should say. This game is happening on C1, so I'll have a reasonable vision of the rinks, so I'll update you on those scores. And I will do my best to get a couple of scores from rink B. Currently on C2, we have Sean Thomas playing against Warren Steyn. Warren Steyn is leading that game, 13-10. We have Wilson playing against Nixa. Wilson's leading 14-10 at the moment. It's a great ball from Esme. Bowling Lezandri's shot ball out and we're sitting for shot. So let's have a little discussion about the section that Lezandri and Esme are in, because this is the section that is wide open. So we have 5 players all on 2 losses. So those players are Esme Hayle, Natalie Botha, Mo Lowe, Fran Belleri and Maggie van Sale. Natalie Buerter and Mo Lo are playing against each other currently. Mo Lo is leading that game 5-1. And then we have Fran Belleri versus Maggie van Sale, and that's a game I can easily keep you updated on because it's on C6 and it's 1-1 at the moment. Yes, John, you're quite correct. Mother and son playing in the South African Masters together on adjacent rinks. It is quite special. Just before Esme got onto the rink, Warren and her shared a few words, so it was quite nice to see support going both ways. Warren in his first Masters, if I am correct. And so far doing a very, very good job against Sean Thomas. So I'm going to try and get an updated shot aggregate of the 5 ladies, all sitting on 3 wins. Only one I am still going to just need to get is Maggie van Sale, but Fran Belleri has a big shot aggregate with plus 26. Natalie Buerter is on plus 15. Alma Lowe is on plus 13. And then I will update now on Maggie van Sale and Esme Hayle. So this section, there are a few very critical games happening at this very moment that can impact how this section ends. Esme Kruger has been in fantastic form, and she's currently playing against Evelyn Klutter, and she is leading the section. She just has 1 loss to her name at the moment. Ball's draw hasn't been updated yet with Maggie van Sale's score. But Esme is her shot aggregate. Esme Hayle's shot aggregate is sitting on plus 30. So she would at this current moment pip Fran Belleri with her plus 26. Then Natalie Buerter plus 15. Mo Lo plus 13. And Maggie van Sale approximately around a plus 10 shot aggregate at this moment. So everything to play for still in this group. It's going to make it incredibly exciting going into tomorrow morning. Sean Thomas having a very close look at the head. Warren Steyn is holding definitely one in a measure. Quite a big bowl coming from Sean Thomas here in the adjacent rink. Sean Thomas just played an absolute cracker. Found shot ball on the jack, and he's now holding 2. The quality of bowls at South African Masters this year has been exceptional. The morning game yesterday, a couple of rings were a little bit loose. Everyone struggling with a bit of nerve, struggling to settle down. But since then, the games have been incredibly tight. In the ladies section, there have been, and I might be slightly wrong, I'll try and do a little bit of research while I'm commentating, but I think we've had 5 to 6 games that have gone to 2021. And I think that's just it's just such a good show of the quality of bowls that's been produced at the South African Masters this year. Wayne Roberts leading Terence McGlynn 14-5 I think it is at the moment. Sean Thomas picked up a 2, so he's just trailing Warren Stain by 1. It is 13-12 to Warren Stain. Chris Strover against Wayne Rittmiller. They are having a very intense battle there. There's 9-all. Maggie van Sales in the lead against Fran Belleri, 3-1. That game is just on the third end, so very, very tight still there. Hello, Common Talyard. Thank you for joining the live streaming. Let us know where you're watching from as well. It's lovely to see where people are watching the game of bowls from. Lezandri on her forehand, and trying to turn her own ball over. She's not very far off here. She just needed about another 30 centimeters of weight, and she would have had that perfectly. Gotta love this game of bowls. Lezandri picks up 1 there. 1-all. So in the other ladies section, it looks like it'll be a 1-game shootout, almost a semi-final. Not that there are semi-finals in this format, but it essentially is a semi-final. So we will have Colleen Pickett in the next round against Mariselle Rousseau. Both ladies have had a full house of wins so far, so that is going to be a very, very big game, I think, as well as a very, very exciting game. Mari Ierlank, welcome. Thank you for watching the live streaming. I'll repeat myself, guys. Any questions, put them on the chat. Happy to engage. It enhances the viewing experience for all of you out there. The weather today has been very, very hot. Definitely a lot hotter than yesterday. Yesterday morning we had some overcast conditions in the morning, and that definitely tricked some of the players who had been warming up on the fast greens on Thursday afternoon when it was also incredibly hot. So yesterday morning, those greens were just a bit sticky. And then suddenly the cloud cover disappeared, the sun came out beautifully, and the green sped up by easily sort of 2-3 seconds. Today the temperature's been quite constant since this morning, no overcast conditions. And a lot of the players, obviously not from BGN or JBA, have commented on how quick the greens are running and how a lot of them having to concentrate on their delivery, make slight minor adjustments just to slow everything down and just to find the weight on the green. Hello Shirley, thank you for the good feedback. Love to hear that. That's very encouraging to hear. I'd like to welcome my fellow commentator, Wade. Welcome, Wade.
Yeah, good afternoon. Just been walking around, taking in all the action. Let me tell you, the vets is as competitive as anything you've seen. They give no inch, and it's been fascinating to watch. A lot of humdingers on the go down there on the bottom green, settling in here for a battle. Esme Hayle, last year's champion against last year's under 30s champion, so should be a good tussle.
I think Lezandri is also desperate to put in a good performance. Unfortunately, she hasn't had a win yet, so you don't want to go through your first Masters without a win on the cards. So she'll definitely want to try and settle down and get a good solid result here.
Will be tough to beat, with Esme Hayle looking to play herself into gold medal contention. So she's a bowler that just, sticks to her game and does the basics so well. Always good with her weight. So if she settles in onto this backhand and can get the line, she should be very tough to beat.
For those of you who weren't watching yesterday, I gave a story about my first BSA Masters, which was last year. My very first game was against Esme Hayle. I can tell you it was a baptism of fire. I thought I started quite strongly. I put my first bowl 30 centimeters behind the jack. Obviously there were lots of nerves, and Esme, as she is such a professional, beat my bowl to get shot. My second bowl was approximately 30 centimeters behind the jack, and I thought I was doing quite well again. And she beat her own bowl to hold 2 shots within the first four bowls, and I knew I had arrived at the BSA Masters.
Well, that is Esme Hayle, and particularly last year, I mean, she was unbeatable, going unbeaten throughout the tournament, and well-deserved victory, so don't beat yourself up about it. She's just got that easy flowing tempo, nothing rattles her, she doesn't get flustered, and she just draws and draws and draws and just draws you to death. She should be called slow poison, because it's just singles is brutal, because you drop a 1, you feel like you're in it, and you pick up, and it's just a long game, 2.5 hours sometimes, maybe closer to 3 some of the games. And Esme she just does the same thing. You just know, and on a green like this, when it's running 15 seconds, it's not easy to force something and move the jack and make a big change. So very difficult. We're seeing a lot of balls just sliding through, and they end up a meter past. So it's tricky, but let's see what Lezandri has in store. She obviously has good experience going to Hong Kong, that indoor surface, so she'll know a thing or two about getting that absolutely dead weight right.
Esme is just so consistent. I think Esme's strength, though, is her mental strength. She is incredibly strong in the head. She has watched, and I know she reads a lot from Jackie Chan and all of those martial arts guys. I've spent some time chatting to her about bowls and what she does, and she takes the Bruce Lee. I've just got a correction from her, Abby. Bruce Lee, not Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee. But she takes that mental side of the game so incredibly seriously. And for her to go and, as Wade alluded to, playing singles for 2.5 hours to 3 hours.
That's a fantastic draw.
Look at that.
So you want to start. First ball heaps the pressure onto Lezandri.
And nothing phases her. She just really, really stays very, very calm all the time in the moment. This year we have seen her battle herself at times. I think the rinks have been a bit tricky. Oh, what a reply from Lezandri.
Yeah, it's a. I think that actually was a touch. Could get actual replay there, but you know, as I mentioned, you try to force it. You lean on the ball just a little bit, and you get no result.
As we see it come through.
Oh, so close. Just next door, as we always do, keep you updated. Sean Thomas 13-all against Warren Stain. Little JBA derby there. Mr. Bowles has come up short in a few contests, so he's eager just to pad the stats a bit and make sure he finishes as high as possible. He hasn't been at his highest level, or results-wise anyway. I think he's given his all in, but at this level, if a bowler's just a little bit better than you, they tend to win by 5 or 6 shots. So came up short against Nick Shabengerik in his last game. Looks to be holding one in a measure. Lezandri is trying again, yeah, she's close again. But watch this ball finish. Oh, she got it this time. Excellent. And look at that. She was, big mat over. And this is the kind of bowl that isn't easy to play on this surface, but it's the kind of thing that can get Esme thinking about changing her hand slightly longer. That's a very good bowl.
We've seen a lot of bowls just missing that jack with that mat length weight, looking for that nice positive trail. Nothing, no crazy weight, just a little sort of healthy trail on the jack, and it's been often very, very tricky to pick up the jack clean on the greens. But Lezandri, that was a beautiful bowl she put down.
Yeah, with the percentages clear that we've been watching, it's a bit like a nightmare. We've just been watching and so many people missing that shot. So she had to have that exact line and that exact weight. There are no margins. The 1 centimeter too much and a foot too much weight, and she's missing, and she's through a meter. So credit to her. She's not staying there on her forehand. She's opting to play the backhand. Looking to draw another. It's a difficult hand. It only bends very late. But she has played another great. So it's just going to be short, you feel. Wayne Rittmiller is 14-9 up on Chris Strover. Fran Belleria is 6-3 up on Maggie van Sale. Wayne Roberts is 15-7 up on Terence McGlynn. So Wayne Roberts is doing his utmost to play himself into the final. He's had a very good day. Ended Wayne Rittmiller's unbeaten record.
And I can just peek through and see Matthews Perry is is down against Paul White, 11-15.
Which is big because Matthews was playing his way right up that leaderboard. Jason Evans and Sepe Mathewson was a ding-dong battle, nothing to separate them. And Brad Robinson was 15-11 up on Jerry Baker. So very interesting section. A lot happening. Games changing thick and fast. Pick up 2 multiples, you close gap or you extend it. 0 room for error.
So before this round started in the men, Jason was top of his section with plus 17, and Matthews Perry was second with plus 16. So that just shows you how close that section is.
Gregory Martin just saying hello from Pontyville in Cape Town. We've got both your commentators from Cape Town. Nice to have you watching, Gregory. You should actually. Well, I'm glad you're watching, because if you're not, you should be on the green though. Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock. But lovely to have you on board. We're just going to measure the third shot here. I've just seen Wayne Roberts play a bomb, chuckle, Terence McLean, and Wayne says sorry. I mean, what kind of a battle is that? And they had a nice smile. I think Terence at 15-7 down is kind of maybe resigned to his fate, and Wayne, being the nice guy, says sorry after playing the bomb.
Well, we have said even yesterday how what good sportsmanship was being shown on the green, and
Yeah, but that's taking it a little bit too a little bit too far. I'm sorry, even for me.
is that too much? Is that just it?
That's actually where I draw the line. Terence having a drive and missing in that game as we wait for third opinion. Yeah. Okay, just the two. So that's a very good ball from Lezandri. You see, when she changed the length and she moved the white off centre, she was able to displace the metronome that is Esme Hayle.
It's such a good descriptive word for
I think
Esme.
one of my co-commentators used it last and I'm just stealing it. So
it's a good word. I like that.
So obviously this is part of the World Bowl Series now, and the winner will get points. So Wayne Roberts has taken full advantage of the rankings of when they kicked in, of his African states representation, and he's keeping himself right up in the
His current ranking, Wade? Fourth
in the world.
Okay,
Yes.
fourth.
So Lezandri looking to start well on this backhand. She's just short. Esme should stick to that hand, you feel, and just beat it. Getting the information.
Esme backing herself on that hand. It's probably the truer hand on this rink. Outside hand, just a little bit slow at times to come back, and as it gets really close to that 2 meter, it does have a little bit of a nasty bend to it. We should be disappointed with that.
She might force Lezandri onto the forehand.
Yeah.
See how Lezandri has got some weight here, but she could. I mean, no one has done that for, 6 sessions. Feels like forever. And Lezandri is up and down twice, forehand. Found the jack and stayed with
Perfectly,
it.
stayed with it perfectly.
Proving everyone else wrong, yeah. Exuberance of youth, you might feel.
Also the confidence in terms of she's got nothing to lose at this
Well,
moment. Just play with your creativity.
You see, that's the kind of shot that we've been seeing, where if you have weight, it bends a lot, yeah. But you're right, Claire. She's got nothing to lose. She's just trying to, play well. Probably thinking to herself, get to 10, get to 15. She's under the line, yeah.
So Lezandri's had a tough 2024. Near the end of 2024, she or midway through 2024, she had to go for an operation. So she's battled very, very hard to come back and make sure she was in good form for Hong Kong at the end of last year.
Got a bronze medal there in the mixed pairs.
Yes.
Did very well.
A very dedicated young bowler, puts a lot of time and effort into her bowls.
Yeah, they put in a tremendous amount of effort in trying to get prepared for that indoor surface. So full credit to the young duo for bringing home a bronze.
I know they were travelling backwards and forwards to midstream, to the indoor facility they have there, to try and get used to that kind of speed and the quickness that they were going to face when they were in Hong Kong.
She finds her front ball, just under the line.
Weight would be very good with the right grass there.
One and a measure says
Is that one level there?
volley.
Yeah.
Just in front of the judge.
Right.
Anyone in Joburg or Pretoria, come down, come watch the South African Masters. Some excellent bowls to watch.
Tell you
Wingate
what,
facilities are amazing.
Boerewors rolls are right on point as well, so
I must say, I had a chicken schnitzel for lunch and that was absolutely divine.
Yeah,
Everything
the-
here is fantastic.
and the bar facilities. Geez, I have just seen. That's fantastic. We've had Stoffel Lamprechts on the screen. We've had Arthur Langley. Both the president and the vice president, David Hammer and Lala Young, have been marking the Junior Masters games. That is absolutely class. They do a lot of work behind the scenes. There's a tremendous amount of meetings and paperwork to get the sport regulations and things that bowlers don't really even think about. And the pair of them have been marking on the green. Those Pro Band and Perfect Delivery bibs, splendid over their BSA executive shirts. That's full credit to the president and vice president leading from example, which is a great message to club presidents. Get down there, pull your weight. It's not all about the tea and scones.
Tea and sandwiches.
Yeah, no, it's just fantastic. We've literally had everybody pulling their weight, doing some shift on top of all the other duties. Excellent.
And they've been marking on the bottom green, which, from what I've heard, is probably 2 or 3 degrees hotter as well than what we're experiencing up here.
Well, it must be very hot. Mr. Bowles has spent half the time off the green in his match, rehydrating.
No, kudos to the LSC, the Bowl South African executive, the amount of work that's gone into organising this competition. Everything is just run so
This
smoothly.
tournament is literally flawless. It's not easy. You've got games finishing at different times. You've got sessions. You've got breaks. You've got people all over the show. But it's actually the only negative part is after the game ends, the scoreboards change so quickly you don't have a chance to see what the margins and things were. So if anything, if they just gave us 3 more minutes, it would be good. But it really is world class. The players are so well looked after, and they're put in the position to play their best bowls.
Good afternoon, Leo. Michael Zarts, hello.
The usual. Hello, Zartzi. Nora's also, if there's a bowls match, she's watching.
She's
Lovely
maybe
to
too
see.
far away. From a bowls green or live streaming, Leo is supporting.
So Mr. Bowles has moved 17-13 up in his JBA derby. Can see that they've played 20 ends. Score will be updated now.
Fran Belleri leading Maggie Vancel, 9-3.
Esme sneaking in for shot. What does that do to Lezandri? Does she stay on the forehand, beat her own ball on the wide side? Lovely little bit of cloud cover coming over Wingate, just cooling things down a bit. Scorching temperatures really, with no wind to speak of.
I say it is a nice relief just to have that shade a little bit.
Lezandri had the wide road there. She was on the line, but just falling a metre and a half short. Esme will definitely change now. There's no reward playing the forehand. Allah? No? Yeah,
She is changing. Rory Peters, hi to Noel from Headhunter. Your streaming is awesome. We totally agree. The quality of the streaming at Cape Town Talking Heads is phenomenal. Absolutely no complaints. And their crew is so professional. feel like it would be so nice to see a windsock, because coming from Cape Town at the moment, like
I
you
don't
wouldn't be
think
able
they
to tell anyone
They
that
don't have
there's
them.
no wind.
They don't have them here.
They don't need them.
They're all broken because none of them move. So, oh, do you see? We actually are blessed in Cape Town with the breeze. Keeps us cool. No, everything has just gone according to plan. No thunderstorms to speak of. Just having a look at the stand that some of the spectators sitting on. It's the Marizal Rousseau stands. So a young lady making her mark.
There's also a Brendan Fern stand that's just further down from that.
Yeah, I just actually bumped into Brendan. Pretty glad that he moved to Pretoria from Cape Town. He's a hell of a fierce competitor. Very good bowler. We'll be going to the Nationals.
Michael Zart's asking, the forehand to commentary box, is that hand getting narrow?
No, it's definitely not actually, Michael. In fact, if you've watched the previous game, the more grass he took, it was actually bending back. So if anything, there is a wider line as well. So players are not trusting it to get back, but it does turn, and it's far more reliable than this backhand, the stitch hand.
Yeah, I think that was shown there by Esme's last bowl, not wanting to give it too much grass, because just too much grass and it hangs out, doesn't want to come back in, and just undercutting her line, and that swung away very aggressively. Robert, we'll give that feedback. I'm not quite sure. We'll check why there are no live games currently being streamed on YouTube.
He's commenting on the live game. That's slightly confusing. Jacko van Kroon. Nice to hear from you. Saw him a couple of weeks ago. He was wandering around midweek. We will give you the updates on the make and the model of bowls.
So Lezandri bowls with DP Pro 50. And I know Esme plays with Henselites. I will tell you now what make and model they are.
Tiger Pro for Esme Hayle.
Oh, there we go. Garthwaite saying, yep, watching on YouTube.
Garthwaite, hope you are doing well, my friend. Bout of kidney stones. Horrible. Anyone who's had that will know it's absolutely horrible. So I got a picture from him in the hospital bed. He was supposed to be part of the team today. So Garth, rest up.
Just want to say, what happened between yesterday and today?
There's nothing.
Shame.
I didn't say anything to him. It was natural causes. Unfortunately, well, Jason Evans has played a bomb against Sepe Matthewson. Jason Evans can take control of that group if he wins that game, because Jerry Baker's just lost the second game of the day, going down to Brad Robinson in a repeat of last year's Masters. A lot of refreshments coming past. The spectators are enjoying themselves.
We'll need to wait a little bit longer, wait.
Well, we finished it after 6 o'clock last night, so...
After 6? I think it was 7 o'clock. Well, the one game ended at
Yes.
7. It wasn't on the streaming rink. It was quite a bizarre day of bowls. It went on. We even had floodlights getting put on at about 6:30.
Did Mo win that game?
Unfortunately, no. She lost at 21-20.
Yeah, that's another game that's needed floodlights. Last year, Sean Thomas and Wilson Malibola did the same thing. Commentating in the dark. So Wayne Roberts is 18-10 up on Terence McGlynn, looking for 3 shots to just wrap up with, a game that's putting Wayne well into the final contention in that group.
Paul White Sorry, Wade. Paul White is now up 19-13 against Matthews Perry.
That section is literally carnage. Everybody's beating everybody at the moment, and if Sepia can upset Jason Evans there, then everyone would have pretty much been level pegging. So Brad Robinson won 1 from 3 yesterday and has won 2 in a row today. So it changes, and just because you're winning doesn't mean you're going to carry on. It just doesn't work like that at this level.
I think what you said is key at this level. Problem is everyone is so good. Their skill level is just phenomenal that one little drop in concentration can often cause you to lose a game, or someone just plays an absolute bomb and you lose a game, and it can happen either way.
My turn to interrupt you, Claire.
No.
It looks like Paul White has got the better of Matthews Perry, so that game is over. And just bringing the whole section into disrepute, really. Jason Evans, if he wins that game, he takes control, so it's going to be very interesting. Still another game to go today. Action is coming thick and fast. We'll do our best to update you when the logs and everything are all sorted. Sean Thomas, 18-13 up against Warren Stain.
Yeah, Warren definitely seems to have got stuck on 13. Hello, Carmen Fourie. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow as well, Carmen.
Yeah, so sorry, Robert Elliott, not quite sure of the drama, but there are matches. You could just be in between games on a different stream on the B Green, but the Junior Masters is being streamed. This game is definitely out there on the internet, so yeah, just click around on YouTube and I'm sure you'll find it. Obviously the way you go is Bowl South Africa's official YouTube channel, Bowl South Africa's Facebook page. Don't join random groups. Don't click on any other link that isn't from the BSA official channels. Don't share dodgy links. Let's just keep things safe. Everything is always free, so don't enter your credit card details. Don't join scam groups, no matter who you tagged by. It's just be digitally safe and enjoy the action.
Wayne Rittmiller is now 10-17 up against Chris Strover. Chris started well in that game, but Wayne now pulling away. Chris having a very good look at the head.
Yeah, Lezandri holding firm here. Esme is on a decent track. Is she going to get all the way down? She's just not here. So having a measure, it looks.
I love Esme's way of measuring. You so often, I know Jason Evans does it quite a lot. There are a couple of the guys that use their fingers to measure the bowls.
Fingers in a cross.
Yeah, but Esme just takes the corner of her lappy and she just to give a good indication of if there's a measure required or not.
Yeah, so we still have another game coming up on this channel. It's Jax van Rensburg against I think it's Jax against Colin Picketh, but we will just confirm that. The final game, which could be starting in the dark at this rate. We've got 5-4 after, so 6-4 now after 7 ends.
Yeah, it is Jackson Rensburg versus Annika Skippers.
Is it? Okay. Should be a great game. Seeing a lot of clapping. Has Jason Evans prevailed? I think he has. Sportsmanship, a high five. We'll do our best to. Claire's trying to get a vantage point on that.
Might need to swing from the rafters to see that. Wayne Roberts now leading Terence McGinn, 19-10. Wayne Roberts in exceptional form at the moment. Esme Hayle with a very, very good opening bowl. Michael, we'll work on some updates. Sorry for all the bashing. It's me trying to jump up on tables and see scores. A fantastic draw from Lezandri. It's a beautiful ball. So Molo is leading Natalie Buerter. It's a bit difficult to tell you exactly what the score is, but it's approximately 13 or 15-5 to Molo. The other big game is Fran Belleri leading Maggie van Sale 13-4. So those are the two games that are very, very important. And then obviously the game that you're watching here, Esme will be desperate to get a win to stay in the hunt. So there are no sections that are sort of all wrapped up except for probably Wayne Roberts, who's way ahead. Wade's left me to go and have a look at the update, and just saw Lezandri with another beautiful draw. She's definitely settling down. I've watched quite a lot of her this weekend, and I've also gone and done a few Green Squad camps with her, and she's such a fantastic young bowler. Probably just had a bit of nerves over the last couple of games. You can imagine your first Open Masters. And I mean, that's the quality of bowls she can put down, and she would have put down also in Hong Kong. So the statisticians out there, it's still very early doors, so we can't predict anything at the moment. But kind of second, third and fourth place, depending on what happens with Esme Kruger in her game this afternoon and tomorrow morning. But she's definitely on a good streak, Esme, after losing her first game yesterday morning to Fran Belleri. But tomorrow morning, Fran Belleri will play Molo. So that essentially could be a final to see, or a bronze sort of bronze medal game final. And Esme Hayle plays Natalie Buerter. And that could then come down to aggregate. So it's fantastic that it's always still so open. We know bowls is a game of very, very small margins, and we're even seeing it in the results of the games that are coming out at the moment. Lezandri holding 2 here. She's trying to get a third one in. Could just be short. It's a bit difficult to say from here. The mark is going to indicate 2. Esme putting a lot of thought into what hand she wants to play. I think this could be coming through with a little bit of weight. Let's have a look and see what she decides to do. Yeah, there we go. As predicted, a bit of weight coming down on her backhand. She's very close here. Oh, just ducked at the last minute there. But very, very good effort. To give you an indication of the amount of concentration and just the how long some of these days are. Yesterday the bowlers started bowling at 8:30 yesterday morning, and the last game finished at 7 p.m. I know, chatting to a couple of the ladies especially, one of the bowlers had bowled 90 ends, and I think second place was sitting at 80. So it gives you a very, very good indication of just what level of fitness is also required. A lot of people want to say bowlers, you don't need to be fit, but there's definitely a certain level of physical fitness to endure potentially almost an 11-hour day of playing bowls, and never mind that level of concentration that has to go into it. Just had an update on Mo Lowe's game, and she's 13-7 up against Natalie Botha. And Fran Blairi leading Maggie van Sale 14-5. Philip Barnard, come on Esme, such a good role model. Philip, I totally agree with you. I met Esme for the first time last year at BSA Masters, and we got along really well and shared a drink and a conversation after the day had ended, and she just enjoyed the way I played the game of bowls, and she'd seen Mo Lowe play the game of bowls and just really enjoyed our enthusiasm and our energy. And she said to us she would love to play a competition, a tournament with us, even though she's in JBA and we in Western Province. So Masters of the Mat in George, and we reached out to Esme, and her and Heather Pembroke made the flight down to George, and JBA and Western Province play together, and it was just fantastic. And that's what I love so much about bowls. You make friends all over the world, all over the country, and then you can unite and come and play together and have a great weekend, meeting more people and learning about each other. Lezandri with a good first ball. Esme just missing her weight slightly. No doubt here we are going to see a good ball from Esme. So all players fill out a player profile or player information sheet. It helps us as commentators, as well as in the opening function. The MC can use it to give some cool and funny little insights about the players. And Esme's comment, I will tell you now after a beautiful draw, is her goal in bowls is to keep participating at the highest level. It's so satisfying. And I think that's why she's able to produce such good bowls consistently year in, year out. And that just shows her love and her passion for the game of bowls. Lezandri trying exceptionally hard, just missing her line. Her weight was very, very good on that. Ian van Rooyen from Bloemfontein, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Wade took a breather, but I think he took a breather to go and find a whole lot of scores, so I'll let him update us.
Yeah, it's Jason Evans got up. That's the one I was most interested in. So that section looks to be in his control, which obviously the storyline is Jason going for number 6.
Yeah.
And as it's shaping up, a year on, it looks like we might just be having a rematch between Wayne Roberts and Jason Evans. I actually spoke to Wayne Roberts about that final. You know, it was tight last year. It was 12-11, and Jason just picked up 2 big shots, 2 big ends, and pulled away, played a good conversion shot, and won it quite convincingly on the scoreline. But you know, for 3/4 of that match, it looked like it could go either way. So Wayne's playing with a little less freedom. You know, Wayne is moving to New Zealand. But maybe now that he's gone unbeaten, and maybe now that he knows that there's all those world ranking points on offer. But a very big statement piece between, you know, sort of South Africa's top 2 men's players, who is the number 1 and who is the student and who is the master. So if anything, if that plays out the final, I might have to step out of the commentary booth and just take it all in, because that will be an absolute thriller minute. Esme Hayle just taking her time. She's in control of this head, having found herself trailing against Lezandri. So, as mentioned, Brad Robertson beat Jerry Baker, and Paul White beat Matthews Perry. So it is looking very much like Jason has got that section in control. That probably not enough. That hand does misbehave every now and then and doesn't get back to the centre line.
And Wade, we were mentioning earlier, just the standard of bowls is so good that so often it's almost impossible to go through this kind of tournament without copping a loss here or there. And Jason fighting back from a loss and just showing the quality of a player that he is. Esme Kruger, very, very similar in her section, in her start. She played Fran Belleri on this rink yesterday morning, and also she struggled. She just couldn't find it. Chatted to afterwards, and you know, she just said that maybe the rink got in her head a little bit, struggled to settle down. But she's come back firing and picked up a good couple of wins.
Fran Belleri 15-5 up on Durbanville's Maggie van Sale. Wayne Rittmiller as the last bowl. He is down on the end, but he is 20-11 up. Sean Thomas next door is 19-16 up on Warren Stain. And Wayne Roberts will be playing next against Warren Stain, and Warren Stain on debut has not had it easy. Had a couple of wins, but isn't really in the mix, so Roberts will fancy himself to end the day with a win.
So our cameraman was scanning over to the head of Thomas versus Stain. I think Sean Thomas is holding 2 for the win.
Warren Stain last ball. Last chance saloon, yeah. Sean Thomas, arms crossed.
Looking away as if he doesn't really want to watch what happens on this bowl.
No, he's got his head in his hands.
The stress of holding game and watching that last ball come down.
No, Warren doesn't like it. He's narrow.
No, it's narrow. It's not going to hold.
There you go. Mr. Bowles, self-proclaimed and widely adopted, gets the win, 21-16.
Very passionate man about the game of bowls. Absolutely loves it.
Apparently gets the updates from Papua New Guinea. Cook Islands, there is no corner of where the ball is rolled. Lawn, carpet, indoor, virtual. Sean Thomas is all over it, but fair credit to him. Good win. He's played well. Lezandri looks to have a very good ball. Yeah, you see how you can trust that line to come back with an excellent weight. Well
Lovely
bowled.
draw.
And it's just the weight. You have to have the perfect drawing weight, and then you get your ball to bend, and it swoops down. So Esme staying on the forehand. Will she get her ball to bend down? No, because of the weight. It's there's Lezandri with another absolutely world-class draw.
Very
And
well
it
bowled.
couldn't have finished in a better place. Does that make Esme Hayle consider a little trot down the backhand? Not an easy shot to play.
Not at all. I think she was considering it all day, but
2 down. Excellent bowling from Lezandri.
it's so important that she picks her shot, trusts it and backs it. You don't want to be standing on that mat with 2 shots in your head.
Wilson Malipolo on the green chatting to Mr. Bowles. It's good camaraderie despite being fierce competitors. Yep, that is. Knowing what we know and knowing how many bowls we've seen on the screen, the shot there, if you're gonna attack, it's got to be a real weighted shot on the backhand. The forehand with weight just will not bend down. If anything, Lezandri's front bowl might have blocked that anyway. So Lezandri is really looking to put the hammer in. Yeah, this is another. Clear, that is very,
fantastic. Good bowling.
very good bowling. Take a picture, frame it.
Yeah.
That is a world-class end from Lezandri Hindebrand, and I'm telling you right now, there's got to be some learnings and takeaways from that Hong Kong experience, being so quick, the composure, those hours of practice. Excellent bowling from Lezandri. Absolutely brilliant to find that, and there was also quite a length in time because Esme had come up to the head. For me that also, you're feeling it and you want to get the balls away quite quickly, and then things slow down. But
To keep that feel in your hand and in your body just for those extra couple of seconds is always difficult. But what I just also love there in that shot is May showing her class of sportsmanship and applauding 3 phenomenal balls from Lezandri. Yes, they're opponents and they're fighting against each other on the rink, but also commending your opponent when they put down a really, really good ball.
yeah, very hot out there, and all the bowlers are just running for refreshments wherever they can. So
Welcome to all 346 of our viewers out there today. I thought we wouldn't have quite as many viewers this afternoon, seeing as everyone's bowling, practicing, tabs in.
Lezandri is the first to 10, huge milestone. Just going to do some searching here to see if Neil Burkett managed to win his game. Neil Burkett on debut in the Vets, 19 years after his last appearance in the Open. Let's have a quick squizzy at the veteran men's. He didn't have it all his own way. Kenny Karaoke was running very well, but Neil Burkett, pulled away in the end to win 21-14. So Neil Burkett is one in that section. He still has to play Francois Kuhn. Francois Kuhn is second. Neil Burkett does not have the shot aggregate. Francois' shot aggregate is 23 despite losing a game. And Neil's aggregate is 22. Francois had a big win over Mark Weber-Schellnor from Willand. So that's a semi-final.
That is the semi-final indeed.
And in the other section, Durbanville's Kevin Smith has risen to the top. He beat Gianni Gatti 21-20. So
Sure.
I'll tell you what, that's where Durbanville's greens will definitely have aided Kevin Smith. You know, they are arguably the fastest in Cape Town, or can be. And Kevin is a fantastic drawer. Can play any position. Tells me he wants to play in the front, where he feels he's most at home. But he's done very well on debut himself.
Chatting to Kevin earlier today after his first win this morning, and he actually said to me that the speed of the Durbanville greens and being able to bowl on them so regularly over the last sort of couple of weeks and months in preparation for this tournament has definitely helped him. He said you don't have to sort of overthink your delivery or change anything too much. You know how to slow it down.
Yeah, and they're used to that big swooping finish, and that green, the E green that they were playing on, is fast. I went down and watched the first few ends of Neil Burkett, and it was swinging and fast. So credit to Wingate Park for putting on 4 excellent services.
Maggie van Sale having a little bit of a comeback against Fran Billeri. Fran still leading 15-10. Love to see Esme's little jump for joy there. Jump for joy, or a little bit of relief. There we go. Enjoying shot and getting that mat and the jack back in her hand.
11-6, she trails.
Esme hasn't had control of the mat for a good few ends.
Yeah, she's just playing the game now at her pace. She'll be very keen to put a good first ball in. She's on a fair track. Just running on as we are playing the greens at probably the fastest time of day now.
As that ball was coming down, you sort of said to yourself, no, that looks like a really good speed. That's going to
you think
nail it. And
you
it
think
just
front
runs,
touch and it runs a meter
runs
past.
a little bit through.
And to be fair, I thought this one wasn't going to get anywhere near as far as it did. So Lezandri is on the centre line, which is very good bowling. She's forcing. No. Esme doing the right thing here and staying on her backhand. I mean her forehand.
Esme on again, a very, very good track with absolutely perfect weight.
And it's a lovely, on that hand to finish on the other side. You give your opponent nothing to stop on. So that's
You've said a few times, Wade, it's about getting that perfect weight. And getting that perfect weight, you're going to get that bend, and it's going to come back to the center line. You just saw that there, such a good example of it. But Lezandri is drawing beautifully. We saw her pick up that 3 coming
she's
this
asking
way.
this ball to get back a long way. My word, it really did as well. That she was very wide on that hand, and it very nearly came back. Which is a nice bowl to stop on for Esme. So Lezandri nipping the line a bit. Does she have the weight?
She's trying, she's looking.
It's a good effort. There's definitely two roads there. There's a wider one, and there's the one that she just came down on. Fran Valeri 17-10 up on Maggie van Zyl. Sean Thomas and Terence McGlynn are going to have a battle. Sean Thomas has played 1-3, lost 2 now. So another win, puts himself into some sort of contention. This is a great ball here from Esme. She's stalking it. Why not? And it does, that's another good ball and finish. You know, the ball didn't fall over, and then the white would, move out, like, I don't know, 10 centimeters or 5 centimeters.
But you just then can see that you can see the white a little bit more.
Yeah, so Lezandri will be looking to try and, on the forehand, find a bit of piece of the ball and hope she can benefit from wherever the white lands up. But not a lot of...
No, I don't think she likes it. She turned around, picked up the mat immediately.
Yeah, she was 2 down pretty much regardless wherever that was going. So it was not really a shot where she could score. Esme Hayle picking up a double. So that's 11-8 now. Lezandri doesn't give much away. Good, bad, indifferent. It's all just composure. Very good to see from someone so young.
Esme always with a smile on her face, cooling herself down a little bit.
Yeah, Ian van Rooyen's watching from Bloemfontein. Not a lot of international interest today. Well, they're just not getting on the topping. We had Iraq, we had Kuwait, we had Taranaki.
We had a couple of New Zealanders yesterday.
As long as they support
Bay
the
of
Springboks
Plenty.
and watch support the Springboks and watch South African balls, I will allow them. I will allow it. The only thing I won't allow is Wayne Roberts saying sorry when he plays a bomb and gets the shot. That's just... Warren Steyn with a very quick turnaround. The men don't really waste too much time. Warren must have had half a cool drink and he's back on the green.
I think it was mostly the ladies around sort of midday that potentially took a little bit longer, because the one section in the ladies have had 3 rounds in a row. Some of them might have been getting a little bit peckish and needed to go and get a bite to eat.
You're playing sort of on and off for 8 hours of the day. You can earn yourself a lunch. But this is going to be a late one now. It's 3:15, and this match is halfway basically.
And we see Colleen Pickett looking nice and relaxed. She's up against Marisol Rousseau in the next game, the last round for today. And that's a semi-final. Trish Dane, former Proteas player with an exceptional record herself and a national selector. Esme Hayle started very, very well here. Fran Belleri, 17-12 up against Maggie Finsell at the moment. He's very comfortably holding the two. This for me often is a good example of a good bowler when they can make that last ball count. Doesn't always happen, but Esme will be trying her utmost to get that ball in there. She's just missed her line slightly there. You can see her disappointment there, not quite happy with how she put that down. Just an update, 14-12 to Mo Low over Natalie Botha. Natalie Botha making a little bit of a comeback. Very important game there. Lezandri coming up and having a look. See what shot she can play here. Lezandri very calm in her demeanour. Consulted her coach at the back just to make sure she's confident in the shot she wants to play. Oh, she's very close here. Oh, well done. My angle, probably still the one down, but it was a very good shot she played. Played it with nice, good weight, confident. Anything she found there would have worked. Hello, Emmy Lowe. Sister of Molo. Okay, definitely one out for Esme. one of those difficult setups with the jack scarping out to the side of the rink and a lot of the bowls being scattered fairly wide. Sometimes very, very difficult to figure out where the shot is and where the shot isn't. So Esme using her experience and saying, let's just put a measure on it. Or no, she seems to be happy with the one. Okay. That's Esme Hayle picking up one. So that goes to 9-11. Lezandri had a good lead. And now Esme is showing her experience and clawing it back. We've got Wayne Rittmiller up against Wilson Malabolo. And Chris Strover against Nixa Pingurik. And Sean Thomas against Terence McGlynn. They're still on their trial ends. Most of these games are starting their trial ends now. So this is round 4 of the day. Lezandri finding a very good line and weight. Rian, we'll do our best to get an update on the vets. We just made comments now on the Neil Burkett, Francois Kuhn section. Neil Burkett is leading that section. However, Francois Kuhn and himself play each other tomorrow morning. And Neil Burkett does not have the shot aggregate in his favor. So that essentially will be a semi-final. And we know Kevin Smith is now leading the other section. I'm just going to get the updates on the rest of the players. Esme gone on a slightly wider track here, trying to get her weight to come back onto that shot ball of Lezandri. She's just missed it. Gain the weight, just letting her down. Lezandri with a lovely draw again. That is a absolute quality bowl from Esme. I think that just shows you, we spoke earlier about her mental strength, her calmness in how she approaches the game of bowls. She was two down, maybe 3 down, and she has drawn within Lezandri's shot bowl to make sure she's holding shot. Lezandri trying her utmost. She's very close here. Oh, I think she has drawn shot. That's very good bowls. Okay, so in section 2, we reported that Kevin Smith is leading that section. He's on 3 points with an aggregate of +6. James Evertser is in second place on 2 points and an aggregate of 7. And Terence Fraser is on 2 points in third place on an aggregate of 3. And those watching will know Terence Fraser very, very well. His quality of bowls, former Protea player himself. And so Kevin Smith plays Terence Fraser tomorrow morning. And so that will be a very, very big game. And James Evertser is playing Gianni Gatti. And that will also be a very, very good game. Just had an update. Molo versus Natalie Buerta. Mo is leading 17-12. So that vet section, still a lot to play for tomorrow morning. We love your questions, guys, so please keep them coming in. I'm going to just get an update. I will pull the results from the women vets now and update you on that. Okay, just had another update on Molo versus Natalie Buerta, 19-12 up. That's 19-12 after 21 ends. Nan Roos, oh, fantastic to have you watching. Live streaming all the way from Amsterdam. There we go. Wade and I were making comments how we were getting very excited yesterday. We had people watching from Iran, Kuwait, New Zealand, and Nan Roos joining us from Amsterdam. Hi, Nan. Played against Nan a couple of times in All Cape, and she was at the Masters last year, and she was sitting at my table, and we had a lovely chat. Lovely lady. So, Nan, lovely to have you watching the live streaming. Esme sticking to her hand, just coming around Lezandri's front bowl. Looks like she's got very good weight here. Okay, so let's just unpack the ladies' vets. Right, so the ladies' vets, this information is not going to be overly accurate because they are starting their next round now, which is obviously going to have a big influence on things. As I'm talking, Lezandri is lying shot there. We'll wait for the marker to take out his lovely lollipops. Saying one, Esme Hayle still holding the one. So, in section 1, Wilma Richardson is leading her section. She's got 3 out of 3 wins. Heather Pembroke in second place on 2 points. And Sandy Smart from Eastern Province in third spot, also on 2 points. The shot aggregate between Sandy Smart and Heather Pembroke is just 1 shot. And Heather Pembroke is going to be playing the first place Wilma Richardson. So there's a lot that's going to be determined on that game. And Sandy Spot is going to be playing Nola Warner from Border. So Wilma definitely seems to be in the driving seat at the moment, but there are still 2 rounds to play in the ladies' vet, so still lots undecided in that section. And in section 2, Sutar leading the way with 3 points and a shot aggregate of 34. And Sherry Ann Mills in second place, also on 3 wins, but with a shot aggregate of 8. Wade has returned to join us, and I am sure he's going to update us with some scores.
Yeah, it's all just fairly early doors on the B rink. Brad Robinson is playing against Paul White, and there's a lot of aggression being shown. CP Matthewson and Josh Taylor just got underway, so yeah, not too much to report. Went for a little comfort break and happened to bump into about 40 people on the way past, so a lot of spectators have pulled in, and a lot of them are Jerry Baker's playing Matthews Perry. Mo is 19-12 up, I think, in her game. She looks to be looking to finish that one off. She's over on B6, so yeah, it's not too much to report. Daisy Rosenblatt is playing Secha Makoto in that game, but everything's also early doors, 3-1s and things like that.
Okay, and just an update on Fran Belleri. Fran Belleri's 2014 up against Maggie van Sale. Fran will be looking to close this game out pretty quickly. Maggie is holding 1. They are playing the 23rd end now. Esme picking up the 1 there. So this game's still very, very tight. Gotta love the markers running across the rings. Avril, I will get an update now on the juniors. We'll have a look now at the juniors. Now that Wade is back alongside me, it's slightly easier to be multitasked between commentating on the game, watching the comments on YouTube.
Avril, I'm getting there.
But from what I knew, and that was about probably an hour and a half ago, Leila Snyman, if I'm not mistaken, was leading her section. So she was doing very well, and Devon was also leading her section.
Devon de Jong lost her last game against Tabela Mavanga, and Tabela has gone into top spot.
Okay, so it was against those two. It was almost, I think I can remember thinking it was almost like a semi-final for the two of them. Okay, so Tabela won that game.
Avril, if you're asking about Leila Snyman, I've got good news. 4 from 4. And she won her game 21-19 against Panache Zaramba. She has to play Shannon Davies tomorrow, and Gillian Young will play. Gillian's obviously lost 1 game. Gillian Young will play against Yolande Victor. So Yolande is not off the mark yet. Gillian will be looking to win that game, and she's got a better shot aggregate. So if Leila doesn't win and Gillian does, it looks like Gillian might sneak into the gold medal match. So we'll keep you updated. But that is the wrap from the under 30s women, and now let's go to the under 30s men, where in section 1 Ernst Wagner is unbeaten. He's playing now, so he's only played 3 games, but he is playing against Mika Skriff. And in second place in that group, Keegan Biosini is playing against Tinnis van Sale. So they're both on 2 wins and 1 loss. So that's a cracking bowl from Lezandri. In the other section, we have Cecil Bournemouth. He is unbeaten. He is currently playing against Cabos, who is in second place. So that's a tough battle. Cecil's shot aggregate is phenomenal though, plus 31. Cabos is 9. Armand Ascaro lost his third game, 21-12 against Bookless. So that is an update from the junior men.
Leo giving her support to Esme. Wait, we're going to have our wits about her. Wilson having a drive on C3. And Nixa having a little go now as well on C2. Get our hard hats on.
And you say that's literally just happened on B green. Sepia Matthewson put a jack into the spectators booth, the one hut. So yeah, it's a real thing. It's a bit like T20 cricket when it started. They handed out those hard hats. We might need some commentary box protection.
I know in the SAT20 they're doing competitions. Catch the ball, one-handed with your left hand, and you can stand to win some money. Can you imagine that in bowls? Any takers?
No, anytime I've seen a jack leave a green, it's not a good thing. So
no, absolutely.
A little bit of gamesmanship. Lezandri not overly enthusiastic about playing her last bowl, and she's bringing it back, and Esme Hayle says, hey, again, check at the there's a wry smile from Lezandri, and that's all we're going to get.
Yeah. Not too much emotion. She doesn't give too much away.
She could be a good pairs partner. Nothing flusters her. Well, so she's keeping herself in front.
Maggie van Zyl staying in this game, 2016, but they've just shook hands, and Fran Belledri has won that 21-16.
Yeah, and Esme Hayle's just sent her husband off to get herself a cream soda, and she gives him the instruction. Lots of ice, still very hot out there, so we are not feeling it nearly as much as the players are.
There were a few chirps between Esme and her husband earlier, so maybe it's cream soda and get out of my ear for a second or two.
Like any good bowler and a partner off the green. Rather get rid of them.
Avril will quickly check where Wilson is lying in his section.
Hasn't been good. Are you on it, or what should I do?
You're on it, you're on it.
Let's just have a quick look at Willie Malebolo.
Oh, he's made with a beautiful draw.
Wilson Malebolo has 1-2 lost 3, so he is 5th in his section. The one that is currently being led by Wayne Roberts. And Wayne Roberts was down a packet against Warren Steyn there, but has drawn the shot, so it's 2-all early doors as Wayne Roberts looks to play himself into the gold medal match. Warren Steyn has won 2 games, 6th in his section. Sean Thomas is 3rd in his section, and if Sean gets one over Chris Strover, Sean is playing, he's just beaten Chris Strover. Sean is playing Terence McGlynn. If he wins that game, he's playing himself into contention for a bronze medal. Will have to beat Wayne Rittmiller, so that'll be a match for a medal if they both win the next games. That'll be a match for a medal, which is very exciting before a final. You don't often get a bronze medal playoff in bowls, and that'll be one. So Lezandri is on track here for an absolute bomb. That's a great bowl.
Very well bowled. Mom getting excited
Yes,
next to
I
us.
enjoyed that.
Yeah, make good. Just an update. Molo, I think she's beaten Natalie Buerter, 21-14. So that is going to, well, firstly, make the game that you're currently watching incredibly important for Esme Hayle. And it makes the morning game between Molo and Fran Belleri could be another bronze medal playoff game.
Oh my word. Niksha Bengurik has had a drive and bowls have scattered into both of the neighbouring rinks. So he's on 2, he's got bowls being picked up on 3 and on 1. But Chris Trover looks to be in front there. Esme Kruger lost her first game and has just not looked back. Really done well. Fran Belleri lost to Esme Hayle and is down in 3rd. But Mo's win there changes everything. So that section has a lot of permutations to play. I think Mo will come over and be part of the Hildebrand fan club. You got to have an interest in the other matches, and
I think Mo might be a little bit torn here, knowing Esme Hayle and playing with her, but also having quite a soft spot for Lezandri. They've spent a lot of time at Green Squad camps together, so she'll probably be watching, but clapping for good bowls and maybe hoping secretly that Lezandri does beat Esme, because then it kind of will make it literally just between Fran and her. I'm not sure who Esme Kruger plays in her last game. We probably find her shot aggregate is incredibly high now. So,
well, her shot aggregate is 28. Esme Hayle coming into this contest was 30.
Yes.
Mo's was 13. Esme Kruger is going to play Maggie van Zyl.
Maggie van Zyl in her last game. Okay. Maggie's an experienced bowler. Been around the block many times. Maggie also had a slow start yesterday, but she has come back. She's sitting on 3 wins and 3 losses now.
Yeah, that was a crucial match for her. If she had won that, she'd been in the conversation. So that's was a quarter-final for the pair of them. Fran Belleri coming out on top. Chris Travers acquitting himself very well next door in this match. He is 7-6 up on Niksha Bengurik, so the Portental player on debut hasn't had much in the way of wins, and it's got the home club boy on the ropes. Let's see if Niksha's experience can put him through. Esme playing a little bit too far over the draw there. Maybe caught in between 2 minds.
Potentially, I think she was. I mean, Wade, it just shows you how close this competition is, that in a format where there's only essentially a final, we're talking about quarterfinals and semi-finals and bronze medal playoffs. It just shows you how exciting and you're always in a competition like this.
Well, some of the players I've spoken to haven't liked the term, but some of the sections are brutal, and everybody is beating everybody. And I said, some people might be carried out, need the first aid kit, a couple of scars and
defib machine somewhere,
bastles and bruises. So it has actually played out that way, with only 2 bowlers going unbeaten: Wayne Roberts, Colleen Pickett,
and Marisol Rousseau.
But that Marisol and Colleen obviously have to play each other. When do they play each other? Tomorrow morning?
No, they're playing each other in the next round. So in the
Yes.
4th round today. So that should be starting shortly whenever that rink is free. I'm not sure actually even what rink they're playing on.
They're playing on B1. So that is the contest. Daisy and there's actually just so much driving at the moment. There's like a rush hour traffic here at Wingate Park. Josh Turner is jumping. He nearly jumped into B1 trying to save a ball from disturbing the head next door. So yeah, it's all action, all guns blazing. Nixa Bengerick is just at a drive on. After you've mentioned Jack's bouncing, I'm just keeping an eye on that. He had a drive, but only took one ball out the head. No movement on the Jack.
You were commenting earlier on David Harmer and Lali Young doing marking. I now see Arthur Langley on the green.
Okay, Nan Roos has asked for the ladies' vets. Let's scoot on over. Veteran ladies. Hope you're still watching, Nan.
Nan's Nam's in Amsterdam.
Yes.
We didn't have any international contingent until Nan joined us.
So Nan, there is action on the go now. The penultimate section game, and in section 1, Vilma Richardson is unbeaten, and she is playing against Christine Marais, who won her first game but has lost 2 very close games, 21-20 and 21-19. So
Sure.
Second in that section is Heather Pembroke, who lost her first game to Sally Smart, and she is playing. Heather Pembroke is playing Jenny Jones, and then in section 2, number 1 is Sue Tar. Sue Tar has unbeaten through 3 games. She is currently playing against Cherry-Ann Mills, who is second in that section and also unbeaten. So there's another quarterfinal. It's a lot of intersection drama. Linda van Kaspel from Kroonstad in the Northern Free State has won 2, lost 1. She lost her last game against Cherry-Ann Mills 21-18. Linda is currently playing Pam Cole-Cook, who has just gotten off the mark in a win. So that section, there's a lot these games that are on the go now will determine who's in pole position ahead of the last game tomorrow morning.
I think that Vets ladies competition was always going to be quite open. We had 2 sort of withdrawals because of illness, as we see Esme draw a beautiful ball. Susan Null and Glenda Matthews both unfortunately having to withdraw due to illness, so replacements coming in, and that was the defending champion, Glenda Matthews. Sorry, Wade, you were about to say?
Yeah, I was just saying, with weight like that, you see, even though Esme found the Jack, her ball just carried on running. It's a very uncharacteristic, very short ball there from Lezandri. Gives the advantage onto Esme, who is 14-10 down but holding 2 and looking to pick up a multiple here and level things up. 17 ends.
She's liking it.
And why not?
And so should she.
And Esme has the last ball, so this is absolutely crucial. This is on track. She finds the ball, she's good. She
It's a
snaps
sit.
it. And look at that.
keeps on
Right
going.
the way through. I think that's third shot there. Volley's having a little look. And the lollipops say 3.
She's holding 3. Ismay taking her time on this ball. Wants to make sure she really makes it count.
Yeah, well, she's got a free draw for 4, so no touch on the Jack and she's good to go. and it will actually level things up if she's there. It is not stopping, it's going.
Still
it's
going.
There. Yeah,
And
that
she's
is
in.
quality bowling from Esme. Lezandri put the pressure on herself with the third wood that stopped well short, so dropped to 14 all. And you know, when you work so hard to get an advantage over a bowler as skilled and experienced as Esme Hayle, it's unfortunate when you have one bad end and you drop a 4. That's just the fact at this level. You have to have 2 good bowls every end, either to limit the damage or to set yourself up.
This will be a true test of Lezandri's sort of mental strength and her skill level to see if she can sort of jump straight back. It's so important in a situation like this. Yes, you've dropped a 4, but you've got to put that end out of your head and get on to the next end and stop any momentum that Esme might start to get in the game. Lezandri has been leading for the most of this game. Then on C6 we have Michelle Gerber up against Bridget Hasselman, so it's a new game in the ladies section that's starting.
Oh, we could have some drama, asked for a cream soda and got a Coke. I mean, ask a man to do one thing
and he gets it wrong.
Very good start from
got a
Lezandri.
very good opening ball there.
Niksha Bengurik has wrested control back of that game. He's 2 up and holding 2. Looking to finish the tournament well with 2 wins, just to possibly bump himself up and finish 4th or 5th in his section. Not the tournament he was after. Home soil, pro tier player.
Yeah, it's tough when you just don't get that start that you really, really want.
I'll tell you what would be a fascinating game for a neutral. I mean, I'm a massive Wilson Malibola fan. I've said it on air earlier when we watched a bit of his game, but he's playing Wayne Rittman and it's 5 all. And if Wilson wins that game, Wayne Rittman is sort of bronze medal hopes.
Pretty much
on
over.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clear, pick your brain on an aspect here. Obviously, you're that's a burnt end there from Chris Trover. Obviously, being a district player, having played at the Masters, you've built a good record. In bowls, concentrating in between shots. So what we've just seen there from Esme is she asked for a cool drink, which obviously she's battling with the heat, as everyone is. Everyone's staying hydrated. And she came back, had a sip, and came back off the green after a very good opener. And her next bowl was very heavy. How much concentration, do you put on resetting, refocusing after you've taken a little break, just even if it's 2 minutes to have a drink of water?
So I come from the thought process that it's impossible to concentrate for a full 2.5 hour, 2 hour game of bowls. You have to figure out what works for you and learn where you can take those breaks. But having switching on and switching off sort of mechanisms, I come from a cricketing background, and we always used to say, once you've played your shot and you've stopped at whatever end you are, you switch off, you don't think about anything until the bowler gets to the top of their delivery and then comes in. And I think it's sort of similar to bowls. Have that break in concentration, but then perhaps as you pick up your bowl and just as you're going to step onto the mat, you need to say to yourself, now I'm switching on. So you have to have switch on, switch off mechanisms. You can't be having a break and then stepping on the mat when you're not concentrating fully. And that's what you just need to get right in bowls.
Yeah, and it's on a surface that's playing like this. The the concentration level has to be at 100%. So interesting that Lezandri didn't take a water break, nailed 2 great balls and 2 in a measure. I'm a firm believer. I couldn't agree more. I think if you whatever sport you've played, you can't concentrate the entire time.
You can't do it.
Burn out. In one game even. So in golf, you hit your tee shot and you walk. You chat. You can look at the scenery and then you concentrate, select your club, know the yardage, control. And if you're implementing the same sort of thing in bowls, you should be fine. So there's nothing wrong with taking a comfort break, nothing wrong with taking a water break, but you've just got to be able to switch on. Oh, that is very good from Lezandri.
It's a very good ball from Lezandri.
Right back. Give
a 4, take a 4.
Yeah, but this was earned in the hardest way, and that's a cracking ball shot. Really, that'll go down on the highlights reel. It's one of the better shots we've seen on this rink.
Yeah, and I think maybe Esme just as you see, you asked me the concentration question, and definitely just letting it slip. She probably should have had her break, had some cool drink, but maybe just taking it a little bit slower once she put her foot onto the green, once she picked up her ball, when she stepped onto the mat. She will be furious with herself that she's dropped that 4 after picking up the 4, but she's an experienced player, so no doubt about it.
So
I feel like this end's going to be a cracker. It's going to be potentially a make or break here.
Let's just take a quick moment as we watch Folly with the lollipops and all the instruments they have. The pro band group, Perfect Delivery, sponsored bibs. Have really been a nice touch. I even heard some of the crowd talking about it. Where did that come from and things like that. JBA is a district that has really pushed hard to implement new things, and they call themselves the pride of
Pride of Johannesburg,
and they've done very well. And this is a great initiative. So well done to Pro Brand Group and Perfect Delivery for getting on board. And obviously, Perfect Delivery and through Barton, it's a product of Barton Insurance, have been supporting bowls and looking after bowlers for 25 years. And thank you again to Geese Swanepoel and his team. Geese is actually around and mingling with a few of his friends and then watching some bowls. So,
and to all those sponsors, a big thank you. So important to grow the game of bowls, to give opportunities to players. Without that, the sport can't survive. And Esme showing her professionalism, as I would say, making sure that first bowl was very close to the jack.
Yeah, and Lezandri, who has played well in this game, is just 1 or 2 balls dropping short on the way up. The speed's different, the players have told us. Going down is quicker than coming up. But you can't lean on it. So you really have to find it and remember just the half a second, just to make sure you stay low in your delivery and make sure you get your ball all the way to the jack. Esme's on a fair road here with very good weight, and that is second shot. So Lezandri needs to save now. This was crucial when she dropped the 4 coming up. Was this third ball?
I want to keep an eye on what Esme is doing now. You can see her standing at the back of the rink and looking away, and I think sort of using that to sort of just give herself a little bit of a break of concentration. She's put down 2 phenomenal bowls.
I wonder if it's also not really wanting to play Lezandri's same line.
No,
Her ball is slightly... Oh, that's a very good ball from Lezandri. That's what she needs to... Oh, just short.
There's still the 1 down.
Let's see if Ollie's going to show us. Just the 1
down.
So second shot, that's very good. Esme may just be tempted to try and trail the jack.
Hello, Shirley. Yep. Izzy's hanging in there. She's fighting hard here.
She's going to run after this one.
She's got the weight to carry it through.
She
And
has.
hold. Oh,
That's
that's
a
a
ripper.
phenomenal bowl.
That's a ripper. And she has the last bowl, so huge freedom. If this bowl from Lezandri isn't great, Lezandri will be tempted to be reaching with fair weight. I would try and trail the jack for one, but get it past all of Esme's balls. It looks like she's cut her line. She needs weight on that line. She doesn't have it. That was always going to be under and fading. So Esme, smidgen of a touch will make it 4, and then it will be 3 4s in a row. So
Definitely intriguing last couple of ends we had, yeah?
let's see. It's a conversion shot. Haven't been easy.
Michelle De Beer, 0-7 down against Bridget. Bridget probably
Hasselman.
hasn't started the tournament yesterday as well as she would have. She's been bowling really, really well. She had an absolutely outstanding gold squad camp.
Here we go. She's trying the little trail.
Esme's coming
But she's
in.
down on a fair track. This is very good.
She needs to get...
That's a ripper.
what a fantastic bowl.
That is it. That's the fallback. So 3 4s in
Three
a row.
fours in a row.
The T20 final, SA20 finals on. We have a little SA20 here with 3 4s in a row.
I feel like I should be
Absolutely
standing
superb.
up with my 4 signals. Unfortunately, you can't get 6s in bowls. Well, not in singles, but...
Well, that felt a bit like a 6
That's
because
for sure.
it's such a hard shot to play. So she just added the half a yard on and absolutely to a T. Picked up a 4-18 all. So we are now firmly in the home straight. Esme responding in style. And will be the happier. You know, she's got 2 4s to the 1 4 that she drops, so she'll be happier. She needs to start. This first ball is probably the one that is the most key over the next 3 ends.
It's such a good example. We just saw in a game of bowls that switch on, switch off. Esme giving herself a little bit of a break on the other end after 2 very, very good bowls, and then she bowled a pearl of a third and a pearl of a fourth. Nixa out to a 13-8 lead against Chris Strover,
Well, they're both heading for a,
having a little comfort break, yeah.
and they're at the furthest part, just about for the bathrooms. Took me about half an hour to get there.
Such a popular man, Wade.
I am quite popular. Esme is in the area, just pulling up short, but you won't drop a 4 on the green like this from this position, so it's a good start.
Warren Stein bowling really well. It's 5-all against Roberts, but he looks like he's holding 3. Saw Roberts just have a fun run. Not so much of a fun run because he missed it.
I think you can't use my terms, Jax. None
like fun
of these are trademarked. Warren Stein drove for 4.
Oh, it's good bowling from Warren Stein.
It's a bit loose from Wayne Roberts.
Warren Stein taking a leaf out of his mom's book.
Should be 4. Lezandri a bit short with her first, giving the momentum of this end firmly in Esme's favour. Esme's just on that wide road. Just throwing her hands in the air to her husband. Not that he can do much about it.
Almost like hubby must sort it out, help
Yeah.
correct it.
Wayne Rittman has gone well into the lead against Wilson Malabolo, although he looks like he could drop a 2. It's 9-6 in favour of Rittmiller.
Yeah, I think Wilson could be holding 2 there. I think you're right. Sean Thomas, 9-3 up against Terence McGlynn.
The back one.
I'm not sure if it's Chris or Nixer playing for bad light here, but there's a nice delay in C2.
Yeah, umpires have light meters around here.
Yeah.
Well, based on yesterday, you can get to 7 with a bit of floodlights and kind of still see the
Wow.
jack somehow.
Let me tell you, the next game, we still have a whole other game to stream, and they're not going to be. I know they've been waiting for an age now, so they feel that game will probably start at earliest 4:15.
That last game yesterday started at about 20 to 5, so we've still got about 35 minutes until that. The interesting thing is playing so late here is that we've just been speaking about how quick the greens are. And within a matter of 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes at the max, the green speed changes so quickly.
Yeah, just
That last round.
Huge moment in the game, yeah. Esme is holding 2. She is now drawing for game. How's that for a fast finish?
4, 4, 4. She needs a 3 now to close it out.
Lezandri does have 1 bullet left. It has been forced onto the forehand and has been short and narrow, so it'll be tough. Esme's on a fair track. She will be desperate to not hit Lezandri's front ball. She's around it.
Missed it. Oh,
And it's
in.
that's the closest ball. So Lezandri's going to take her time, take a stroll, and has to draw probably on the forehand to save the game. A game that was sort of destined to, go to 25, 26 ends is, in the last 3 ends is motored towards a finish.
15 shots in 4 ends, potentially. This last end is not finished.
Yeah. So Lezandri's just getting word from her dad, registered coach, or manager, or whatever. What's the term? Coach?
Coach.
More like consultant. Sounding board.
Sounding board, helper.
Yeah, there's not much you can do about in terms of the technical coaching at this level during these games. So we will see what they've decided. Yeah, Lezandri is just trying to compose, settle the nerves.
Short ball, level. Yeah. No, it's 1 ball behind the jack.
She's gone onto the backhand. Is she too heavy?
Yeah, too heavy. I think she might have been in between 2 shots there. How she missed it on the weight and the line.
So that
win.
is the game. Esme Hayle has won it and has roared home a 4 and a 3.
Pick up a 4, drop a 4, pick up a 4, pick up a 3. That was the last 4 ends.
Yeah, I'm a bit. I didn't think this. I thought I was settling in for another half an hour.
I feel like watching T20 cricket.
Yeah. Team Hayle is stressed to the limits, but they can kick off their shoes and their slops now and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. What's done is done for the day. Esme Hayle winning 21-18 as we take a quick break and then bring you the last game of the day, Annika Skeepers against Jax Jans van Rensburg. We'll be back.
Thank you, Wade.
Is that all? You don't want to have a thing. Calm your nerves.
is that shot ball off the jack? Shot ball's a quarter meter behind the jack. 200 balls behind the jack.